Okay, we're back for part two. Go back to 7-Eleven. So this occupied heating set point is not used. There might be a box or two out there that is available for use, and in that case, what you would do is use it. If they're cold, they need a heating set point, and there's a number here. You're gonna have to change that heating set point, and then so if it says 74 here and 69 here, you need to warm up. You're gonna have to change this heating set point. As long as it's below the cooling set point, you can do that. If the cooling set point is 74 and they want to be 75 degrees in there, what you have to do is you have to change the cooling set point up to 78 and then change the heating set point to 75. With only the cooling, the only thing you have to worry about is the limits. So once again, 74 degrees, if you try and change this to 77 degrees and it won't let you, it's time to right click. And yes, I'm logged back on as Tracer Summit, so you can go into Edit, Veritrain. You have to come in here and say, okay, what are my limits at? The highest I can set my cooling is 78. So you're not going to be able to put that at 79 unless you change these limits. That's just what you'll have to do. Which brings us to the next point. When you do show up here, or if somebody's trying to change a set point, what you want to do is minimize your Tracer Summit. There's a log down here. You see it on the screen. It's a Sun Mechanical Notes on Tracer Summit text. So what we do is Jose and I make a note of anything we change or any problems we've come into. Here's some notes that Jose changed all these set points to 75 degrees. There's nobody in the space. There's no reason to heat them and cool them any lower than 75 for cooling or any higher than 73 for heating. So he made this note. Today when I showed up, I found VAV 1-2 and 1-3 have no airflow shown. The dampers at 50%. Need to look at these issues. So somebody should expect a quote or to let you know we need to look at these two issues on these boxes. So when you come in here and make a set point change, the best thing to do is put a date, what set point you changed and how much and why, and then who did it. For me, it's BW, JC, there's Jose's, and then one of many things can happen. I can get a call out here and say, why is this like this? I come into the log and say it's because of this. Or Jose can come back to work and say, Sally obviously was cold and she wanted to warmed up, and now she's warm and she needs to be cooled down. What happened while I was gone? Very, very useful tool if we all use it. And save it and just close it again. It'll be once again down here so that way everybody knows what everybody else is doing and we won't step on each other. Very handy. Right, Jose?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to think of what I haven't covered. The other thing I told you I would do is I would come in here on Tracer Summit and make it so you could look in here on the unit. Now you can on Tracer Summit login. Tracer Summit logon will automatically expire in 60 minutes if 60 minutes of inactivity, and it'll automatically log you off. You don't have to close Summit when you leave or anything else until you have your own password and you're using Tracer Summit. Just know that 60 minutes of inactivity, you'll be logged off. What do you think, Jose? Any other questions?
No, sir.
I think we covered a lot. The rooftop units, you don't want to be changing the set points on these. That all happens automatically depending on what's happening on the floors. A phone call to myself or Jose saying, here's what I've got, could go a long ways, and then we can change them if needed. But these numbers should always be within reason for what anybody needs. Best thing about this screen is your discharge air temp, your static pressure, and what's all this doing. So if you're showing 0% cooling, hopefully you're not looking for too cool of air, or we have a problem. Oh, Telepack summary. This is kind of nice. Just takes all the rooftop units and gives you your supply air temps, your fan speeds, your static pressure. There's a lot of information here to know if you're in trouble or not. That is back from when I first did this job 20 years ago, and I put this on here for my use to know if I was having any issues, and it's survived this long. That's nice to see. Well, hopefully this helps you through. Important thing is that unless you try to, you're probably not going to mess anything up. It's simply a matter of, this has an occupied set point of 73 degrees, which is your active cooling set point, which puts your active heating set point at 70. The space is 71.2, right smack in the middle between these numbers. They have their thumb wheel at 69 degrees, which makes no difference because we're not using that right now. We look down here, we got 0% damper, we got 0% CFM. Let's find out why that is. Remember, we're between heating and cooling set points, so our minimum cooling flow set point is 0 CFM. That's done commonly to keep areas from getting too cool. I know I said that minimum air was for indoor air quality, so nobody gets stuffy, but at some point you have to do something if somebody's getting too cold, and somebody took that minimum damper to 0. So that's okay, that's not a problem. With that, I'm going to close this training, and I think we'll be okay. Any questions? My number is 520-631-0657. Bill Wilson, 520-631-0657. Call me anytime and I'll answer. Thank you.